Hello, followers of fortuitous fortune. And what's up to the legion of losers that'll some way win one day? LaROI Skippy Davis here to return to our journey from planet Truth, shortcutting through the galaxy of ambition, arriving soon in the solar system of success. So travel back with me to the year 1987, when the cops was robo, the stock market crashed like an all-night coke smoker. Mario couldn't find his princess. She was just in another castle. And Disney did the only thing more European than the current lineup of princesses by just opening up a park in Europe to begin with. Paris, to be exact. This was the era that LaROI Skippy Davis found himself in, as I was quickly coming to the realization that I'd have to choose to be great. And greatness was the opposite of my current job and apprenticeship as a plunger repairman, which made about as much sense as a milkshake maker assistant or a junior junkyard dog food feeder. This wasn't no case of a glass ceiling. This is more like if the glass ceiling shattered and a razor-sharp shard of glass fell right into the jugular vein of your dreams, slicing the spinal cord of your ambitions. You're dying slow and you ain't going nowhere. But deep down, I, Skippy Davis, knew there had to be more for me than responding to 5-alarm dookie emergencies, where I'm basically, figuratively, and quite literally every day hitting a pinata full of shit. So even when you bust it open, your ass still lose. Not the least of which is your dignity and time. The only way to win that game is to not play at all. So one day, after a particularly habanero spicy baby shit emergency at Julio's Taco and Daytime Daycare, I was done. And that's what being great is really about. Believing in yourself when everything points to the contrary, and all you got is that belief. Sometimes you put it between two pieces of bread and eat it for a day, or roll that belief up and sleep on it over top of air mattress with a slow leak in a room you're renting over at a combination bakery and Joann's Fabrics that themselves are facing eviction, because who the hell would combine donuts and plaid buttons as a business plan? But as luck would have it, I was walking with my groceries of sardines, a half dozen of eggs, 38-cent of lunch meat, and the ass-in pieces of white wheat and pumpernickel bread from the bakery, when the winds of fate blew destiny right into my hands in the form of a now hiring flyer for one of the most secondary premier clubs in town. Now, I'm sure everybody done heard about the legendary club Studio 54 and all the A-list debauchery that went down there with the top stars of music, sports, film, and television, all partying every night like it's 1999 when we still 2 years from 1989 out here. Well, what you may not hear about is the just as legendary, wouldn't quite call it rival, but competition nonetheless of Studio 54, Efficiency 451, which they tell me was a literary reference, but I don't think nobody who ever went there ever read 4 or 5 books, much less 451, so I never quite got that. Based in an old J.C. Penney building, they shared a massive, closed-down Pep Boys parking lot. Efficiency 451 was basically a spot for the stars that weren't the stars, if you know what I mean. Where Studio 54 on any given night would have Michael Jackson, Al Pacino, Muhammad Ali, 451 would have Marlon Tito, Randy, and Reby Jackson, the stuntman that played the actor that played Manny Ribera from Scarface, and Tony Two Knuckles, neighborhood knockout artist that once beat all the shit out of one of Larry Holmes' sparring partners behind a Dunkin' Donuts. All stars in their own right. If 54 was for the A-list, then Efficiency 451 was where the C-list could feel like they was B-list. And regular folks like you and I could always be D-list. A place that single-handedly changed the meaning of the phrase who's who into more who is who? Where you're guaranteed to hear, hey, ain't that guy from that thing that one time? At least 9 times a night. And it was this illustrious establishment that needed a doorman since the last one had apparently found Jesus at the end of a glass pipe, like a lot of folks were doing these days. So take a step toward destiny and it'll take a step toward you. LaROI was hot on the spot to start that same night for 30 times what I was making a week repairing plungers in a night at this poor man's version of a poor man's version of Dubai right now. So I worked the door. I still worked toward my dream of making it myself. And if Hollywood had the Rat Pack and then the Brat Pack, well, 451 had its little clique of pseudo infamy as well. The Black Rat Black Pack, named partly for the cavalcade, and I'm not even sure what that word means, of celebrity status, and partway for the damn big as a baby horse rats that they could never exterminate from the Pep Boys parking lot. And that first night, I met them all. There was Dudley from Different Strokes, along with Todd Bridges that paid Willis. I swear that show must have been filmed on a old Indian burial ground the way them folks on there was cursed. Don't ask me what I'm talking about, Willis. Jesus Christ. There was Mr. Hey, 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 hey himself, Dwayne from What's Happening. Carl Cockroach Payne from The Cosby Show, who curiously still remained a regular even after getting on as Cole for Martin later in years. But leading the crew and taking every audition from me at the time was my own professional nemesis. Just like a sheep enemy is a wolf, like the Titanic enemy is an avoidable iceberg, like black people's enemy is high blood pressure, good credit, the federal government, literally any year before 1969, the police, and other black people themselves, so too would LaROI encounter the bane of my existence, one Stonewall W. Jackson, better known as Stoney Jackson. Every commercial, TV pilot, feature film role old Skippy would run to, this ninja would be there and get it. He eventually got hired on beloved black sitcom 227 as Travis Fillmore, where he had less lines in 2 seasons than Ice-T have in any 10 random episodes of Law & Order SVU combined from 25 seasons. But he went on to be in 33 films. Now, 17 of them you ain't never heard of. 12 of them, if you blink, you missed his El DeBarge half-bastard brother-looking ass. And 4 of them just wasn't ever shown outside of Lithuania. And that was the de facto leader of the Black Rat Black Pack. And I was just a doorman, but a doorman with big dreams. And dreaming big is always the price of admission when you choose to be great.